Hello and welcome back to the Learn Adobe Experience Design CC course. In this lesson we're going to be taking a look at creating lines and shapes in Adobe XD. So we have our artboard. We can select the line tool from the toolbar on the left click and drag to draw a straight line, or you can hold shift to make sure that your line is at a 45-degree increment. So this is especially useful if you want to create a perfectly horizontal or vertical line. So let's create a line. In the property inspector on the right, we can specify the width of that line. We can also select the color and adjust the sliders to find a color that we're happy with. Or we can specify a hex color with a 6-digit number. We can also reduce the opacity, or we can increase the opacity using this slider. So let's select the rectangle tool. We can left click and drag to create a 4-sided shape. You'll notice that Adobe XD brings up guides to snap objects in place. So we can deselect the border for that and just give that a fill. So let's type in a fill here. And then what we can do is select this shape and go to Edit, Duplicate to quickly create a copy. And you can drag this other rectangle around with your mouse, or you can use the arrow keys. So one press of an arrow key moves it 1 pixel, or you can hold shift and press the arrow keys and each key press will move the shape 10 pixels. So what you can do is drag this all the way to the right, make sure it snaps in place, drag it up, make sure it snaps against this other shape, and then hold shift and using the arrow keys go 1, 2, 3 to the left, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. So this is a good way to make sure that your margins are nice and consistent when designing your screens. So again, let's go to Edit and duplicate that shape, and we'll drag this over to the left, make sure it lines up against the edge, and holding shift and using the right arrow key this time, 1, 2, 3. So you can see that the margin on the left and the right sides are now equal. And we can just drag this so it snaps in place against that other shape. And we can give this a slightly different fill color. So something a bit lighter. And then holding shift, we can select both of these shapes and just drag them down to increase them in height. Now we can also select the ellipse tool and left click and drag to create an ellipse, or we can left click and hold shift and drag to create a circle. And we can hold shift and scale this down to make sure that it stays as a circle and doesn't get skewed out of shape. We can deselect the border and select a fill. So I'm going to leave this white for now. And we can drag this onto our shape. Let's zoom in a bit. So we can snap this to the top left corner of our rectangle. And then holding shift and using the arrow keys, we can go 1, 2 down and then 1, 2 to the right. And there we go. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next lesson.